Skibidi Toilet needs no introduction. It is a cornerstone of human achievement. Whoa. Honestly, things like inventing TV, going into space, contact with aliens, that all pales in comparison to the monolith that is Skibidi Toilet. You say Skibidi Toilet, I say Skibidi dub 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 yes yes, much like that child in that one video that was like getting a vaccination or something, and he basically sung Skibidi Toilet as a way to calm himself. Now, you may have heard the completely inevitable news that Skibidi Toilet is getting a film. Not only a film, but also a TV series. Both are being headed by Michael Bay, the guy that did Transformers. I've always noticed this with a lot of things that get popular online. It's like people make films and TV shows like 7 years after they were relevant. I mean, Skibidi Toilet, to be fair, I didn't even know this, but going on to VODS Channel, who, you know, created the original series, he's still pulling in like tens of millions of views per video. So that is definitely not going anywhere anytime soon. But still, it's like, I feel like something like this should have been jumped on sooner. I mean, a good example is the Slender Man film. Did you know there was a Slender Man film? Probably not, because again, it came out like 7 years after Slender Man died as a meme. I mean, the Five Nights at Freddy's film that came out, that was basically like 10 years after the original Inception. But to be fair, I think the fan base for something like that is so big, it's just always going to be eternal. Mostly because when you reach such a size as like Five Nights at Freddy's, when people get older and they kind of stop, then you get all the new gens that come in. Now, I've seen a lot of people draw comparisons here, basically saying it's going to be the equivalent of the Emoji Movie. Do you remember the Emoji Movie? The one where James Corden was the funny hand emoji. If you didn't see it, believe me, it was laugh out loud hilarious. I was LMFAOing and rufflecoptering through the entire thing.
That had better not be my leftover Chinese food.
What Chinese food?
Now, if you're a real old head, you might even remember that Sony Pictures was trying to make a meme movie that was slated for release back in 2020. And the images for the meme movie were absolutely terrible. What I'm guessing happened is the meme movie evolved into the Emoji Movie, which was probably worse, if anything. But to be fair, I think a lot of people are going to understand like heart emoji, smiley face emoji over me gusta, me when le mom does le home cooking. I'll be honest, one of my favorite boomer memes at the minute is like troll science, where it's basically you just get like a source of, let's say, infinite electricity in a completely implausible way. I mean, there's a good one here, for example. You can see if you attach magnets onto a wind turbine, it can actually be powered forever. Or you could simply have a self-driving car that requires no fuel, no energy, as long as you attach a magnet to the front of the car. I like how troll science, it is literally like 90% of it boils down to magnets. Like a good 90%. Step 1, have birthday. Step 2, find place in ocean where time zones meet. Make sure you're to the west of the line. Step 3, when clock strikes midnight, move east across the time zone. Step 4, you are now 2 years old. It's definitely up there at the minute. I mean, I'll be honest, my favorite image of all time at the minute is actually, if you look at MRI and coins, there's someone that went into an MRI machine. Coins, MRI, prank. Epic prank. Now, when you hear the news that Skibidi Toilet is getting a film from Michael Bay, you might, maybe, just maybe think that someone's pulling your leg, that it's not actually happening. But the creator behind Skibidi Toilet, Alexei Gerasimov, basically confirmed himself that yes, there is a Skibidi Toilet film coming and a TV series. And I wish I could end the video there, you know, bringing some uplifting news when maybe you haven't had the best day. But unfortunately, it seems that Skibidi Toilet is in a little bit of drama. Now, I do want to be careful what I say here because this is still like a developing, ongoing thing. And also, the creator of Skibidi Toilet, the fuck boom, he joins my streams regularly and he gifted me 5 subs one time. So I've got to make sure I only say the nicest things. Thank you, the fuck boot. Wait a minute! Is that actual Skibidi Toilet himself? What in the Skibidi is going on here? That's actually him. So recently, if you didn't know, Gary Newman, who's the creator of Face Punch and also the entirety of Gary's Mods, literally, you know, get it? Gary Newman, laugh now. He basically posted to be what he believed to be a DMCA takedown from the fuck boom, and this was for copyright infringement. Now, it doesn't take a genius to explain how this, you know, DMCA makes absolutely no sense. I mean, the fuck boom, he uses Source Filmmaker, which is Valve's property. You know, they use that in their trailers. They used it for Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead 2, or the Meet the Classes trailers for Team Fortress 2. And obviously on top of that as well, the Skibidi Toilet assets, like all the civilian male faces you see, and the G-Man and Dr. Breen, they are all owned by by Valve. And obviously Skibidi Toilet as well does use a lot of Garry's Mod assets. I mean, to be fair, if anything, it's more taken from Valve, but still, like, to file a DMCA when you're knowingly using copyrighted characters is a little bit silly. So this pretty much came about when Gary Newman, who at the minute is working on Sandbox, which is basically meant to be like a Garry's Mod sequel, but not actually within the Source engine. He posted a screenshot saying, you know what's worse than a Nintendo DMCA? Skibidi Toilet guys sent a DMCA too. Serious. Can you believe the cheek? Obviously there, Gary is talking about just how Nintendo is an absolute meme. Okay, a little bit of a side quest rant here. I will never understand how Nintendo can have like one of the worst relations with their community and fan base possible, but then Nintendies will still just like suck them off endlessly. I will never understand it. You know, I remember when like Video Game Donkey did a video about one of the Mario Brothers games, and you know, he's basically shilling it, saying how great it is, and they copyright claimed him because he used like music from the game, a Nintendo Switch game. Now, I know YouTube copyright can be a minefield, but you would think for the most part that video game music is pretty safe to use, especially because of the fact that, you know, you will most likely play a game on stream. And I get some games have like an audio setting for like streamer mode, but that's usually for like actual copyrighted songs, like if AC/DC or something just randomly comes up. Another great example of how bad Nintendo is like, I remember years and years ago, it's almost like a fever dream. I actually had to look it up to make sure that it did actually happen. But like, to get past that and to get past being claimed, Nintendo basically wanted you to join their network. They set up as like their own, you know, multi-channel network, their own MCN, and they would take an enormous cut of your earnings just to be able to like play their games.
Nintendo has stated that they will not share any revenue with channels that feature content from other publishers. So originally, remember we talked about how if you were a Nintendo only channel, then you would get 70% or whatever. You know, they would do some type of deal with you. It would be better than if you just submitted your videos for the 60% offering that they were doing, that you could do for, you know, whatever video you felt like submitting.
I don't think like they understand. Again, the shows how out of touch they are. They don't understand that you, by playing a game and promoting it online for free, you're basically getting so many people to get into the game. And, you know, like some people could argue, well, that Let's Play has like millions of views. People aren't gonna, you know, like for example, Firewatch, when everyone played Firewatch, the game set in the woods that had like the really mid ending. I personally think that that helped boost a lot of copies. I mean, a good example is the videos that people did, like Markiplier, PewDiePie, they got like millions and millions of views. But you will always have that crowd of people as well that watch a Let's Play because they won't buy the game. I mean, I did that as a kid. When I was growing up, I had basically no money. I would watch a lot of Let's Plays to look at a game. When I wasn't watching Let's Plays, I was basically just playing free demos on my Xbox 360. I think I played the Hitman Blood Money demo like 40 times, like no joke. Also, keep in mind, Garry's Mod itself has been hit with DMCAs. Nintendo has sent DMCAs to Gary, mostly because of the fact that, you know, like Garry's Mod is basically just a melting pot of different things. Like if you like a character from a video game, even if it's not part of Valve at all, you will find it there. And obviously someone snitched to Nintendo that it's like, wait, people are playing as Princess Peach. I mean, ignore the fact that you had like, you know, Vanos Gaming and his crew running around, and one of the characters was like Mario for the best part of 10 years. Apparently that was never a problem. And one of the biggest ironies behind this is the Fuck Boom, who obviously invented Skibidi Toilet by reusing all of these characters in a specific way. He actually had a lot of copyright issues. You know that song that's being used in every single one, Skibidi Dop Dop Dop, yes, yes? That originally started, and I remember seeing this, like, this shows how much of an old head I am. I remember the Skibidi Toilet song before it was used in Skibidi Toilet. It was like this fat Turkish guy or something, and he was like basically doing a belly dance. Like he was that fat, his belly was just like going up and down like in tandem to the beat. That song has just been remixed so many times that it is now basically became synonymous with Skibidi Toilet. But obviously that was UMG, Universal Media Group. They were like, wait, Skibidi Toilet makes a lot of money from remix of our song. We don't like that. I mean, I could do an entire debate on like how bad music copyright is on YouTube. It is a joke. I mean, you know, if you want to watch like a Netflix show or a film and do a breakdown, usually you get in contact with the license holders, you talk to them, and then it's sorted. It's like a good example is the platform video that I did, the Netflix video. Dead Meat as well, that does these kind of like, you know, horror breakdowns, but then goes the extra step by looking into like the production, how it was done, how actors were on and offset, you know, a bit more of a deep dive, is obviously in his Kill Count series. He, I imagine, his managers would get in contact with movie holders and be like, hey, can we use this film? And they'd be like, yeah, sure, it's fine. Just like credit the film, link it. That is completely different to music copyright. They know that they don't have to budge for anyone. I mean, a good example is my Half-Life 3 video covering Entropy 02 and Entropy 01, the Half-Life mods that are really good, by the way. You should try them. I think it took us months and months to get that copyright issue resolved because it was held between so many rights holders, and we had to pay around £15,000, I think, for basically just to get the song for the intro. And even then, they basically want the song removed in a couple of years. It's really bizarre. It's really outdated. Now, if you don't know the actual Skibidi Toilet song, allow me to lore master you. It's basically a mashup of two different songs. It contains elements of Give It To Me by Timbaland, which featured Justin Timberlake and Ellie Furtado. By the way, I'm trying so hard to say the names of these people right because I'm not having another triple red Metros booming situation, okay? I'm double checking here. And obviously the song, you know, dum dum dum, yes, yes, that is from Bizer King. Now, I've skimmed through the last couple of uploads that The Fuck Boom has done for Skibidi Toilet, and I've noticed that he's actually just stopped using that song entirely. Probably because, I mean, it's what made the series famous, you know, a catchy earworm song that every, you know, kid is like singing in school now. But also, he wasn't making any money doing that. I mean, he probably was until they cracked down on him. But to be fair, one thing, like, I know I'm being pretty critical, Lamau, in this video, but looking over it, you really have to respect this guy and how he used a song to get popular. And despite that song now not being able to be used, the show still stands, like, pretty tall. I mean, these videos are getting the best part of 20 million views. Like, I genuinely thought if he had to stop using the song, he would have just fell off into the abyss. But it shows that the guy, obviously with SFM, he has a lot of natural talent because he's, you know, learned it through school and stuff. So if you think someone that's getting involved in their own copyright issues and having to basically restructure their entire channel, why is the Fuck Boom going after, you know, Gary Newman? Well, this story does change a lot because even though apparently he did get a DMCA, it's actually been posted around now. There's like been a screenshot circulating of the Fuck Boom himself, the creator, actually saying, "Sup, yo, is there no way to contact Gary? I did not strike Gary's mod and I'm trying to understand what else is written in the letter." Well, if you actually have a closer look at the DMCA, it is not sent by The Fuck Boom, but apparently a representative of Invisible Narratives, which is a Hollywood production company, and they sent out the DMCA. If anything, this sounds a little bit similar to the situation that iShowSpeed had. Obviously, a lot of iShowSpeed videos were being, you know, copyright claimed and struck, but it wasn't Speed doing it. It was like his production company or like his talent agency basically trying to hoover up as much revenue as possible without him really being fully aware of it. And if you go onto the Fuck Boom's website, you'll see that it's powered by Invis, and Invis is Invisible Narratives creator-focused marketplace. And by the way, this all kind of ties together with the film and stuff because this company is owned by Michael Bay. I really feel like I'm explaining like the cinematic universe of like FaZe Clan here or something. And also there was an article that came out recently posted by the Washington Post where they interviewed Adam Goodman, who's the CEO of Invisible Narratives, you know, and he's confirming the Skibidi Toilet announcement, or how, you know, Invisible Narrative apparently now owns the Skibidi Toilet copyright. I hope the guy, Alexei, who created the series, knows what he's doing, because once you sign over rights to these huge companies, they are never giving it back. This could be a situation where, again, you have a huge monolithic company and they don't get, like, you know, Zoomers, like all the YouTube scene and stuff, and they might have genuinely been that out of touch that they didn't actually know that Gary Newman basically indirectly invented Skibidi Toilet with Gary's mod. You know, he could have just signed over the contract and been like, yep, Skibidi Toilet's mine, here you go. And then obviously they had no idea that, you know, all this inspiration actually came from Valve, from, you know, Gary Newman. So it really does seem that they're basically just going after anyone so they can, like, profit more from their copyright. Now, some people have had another game theory that this could just be a really elaborate troll, which, you know, in the universe of Skibidi Toilet would really not surprise me. I mean, someone actually pointed out as well, if you look at the email, they misspelt the word unauthorized. And, you know, for a professional email basically saying, stop using our stuff or we're going to sue you, you'd think to, you know, check over like basic grammar. I mean, even when I send like an email or something, right? Like there's autocorrect to make sure that you're saying everything right. But yeah, it's a really bizarre situation. I personally don't think it is the Fuck Boom. I don't think, you know, it's this level of like self-awareness. And again, I'm saying this because he gifted me 5 subs, by the way, guys. I'm basically being bribed, but I don't think it's him. I think the worst case scenario, it could just be like a really out of touch dev that's working at the, you know, Invisible Narratives company, and it's like, wait, toilet? Someone sit on toilet in video game? Skibidi Toilet. I do DMCA now. But I don't know about you, I'm excited. for the Skibidi Toilet movie. It'll probably release when they make like the third Five Nights at Freddy's film, and they'll bring Matthew Lillard back again as well. Also, small update on the whole, you know, Skibidi Toilet drama. Basically, there's a server that the fuck Boom uses. It is like his verified official Discord account. I had someone join the server and basically go over the logs. There has been a screenshot floating around saying that the Skibidi Toilet film and TV series is being cancelled. That is BS from what I gather, because we've looked around on the server and there is nothing. But here, if you look at the mega announcements on the server, you can basically see, here to confirm it's true, we've been speaking and discussing Skibidi Toilet with Michael for some time now. I can't share any details yet, but I can assure you I will be involved in all the important decision making. We gonna cook. Boom. And then obviously, you know, loads and loads and loads of emojis. There's a lot of Turkish emojis for some reason, and Korea. But he also did another update, and I think this one is really important because he's talking about the whole, you know, copyright and DMCA stuff. Hello everyone, completely unaware I've been animating new episode when I heard about Gary's mod situation. Obviously the guy's like ESL, so it's gonna come across like maybe a little bit of broken English. I'm here to make it clear that I have never tried to cause any harm to Gary and Gary's mod. The letter Gary is shown on Sandbox Discord channel is nothing to do with recent events, but from something that occurred back in the end of 2023 and has been taken out of context. Let me bring some lore. I have played Gary's mod for as long as I can remember having a PC. This is the game I grew up with, and my love towards it has never changed. Valve and Gmod forged a way to allow all of us the freedom to create worlds and experiences with ease and accessibility, to which I'm grateful for, but unfortunately, bad people take advantage of this ease, and these people's content I don't support and encourage. Open the following spoilers at your own risk. And it's basically just like a bunch of like, you know, Skibidi Toilet, like female TV woman, kind of like horny posting stuff. So obviously, you know, Skibidi Toilet, the average age of someone that watches it religiously is probably 3 years old. And then they have like a bunch of sexual content as well to try and get like a bunch of like horny viewers, I guess. And some of these do insanely well, like 1 million views, 2 million views, 4.9, basically 5 million views just for this kind of like raunchy content that's yoinking off Skibidi Toilet. And Skibidi Toilet isn't original, but the characters are transformative. And these people, these like bad actors, are basically just taking already existing content and then maybe doing like a gender bend thing, or basically just trying to, you know, like I said, make it as horny as possible. Most of you don't know this, but back in 2023, Skibidi Toilet NSFW content has been massively present on YouTube. What you might see right now is mere fraction of that, and I and my team were struggling with removing many heinous NSFW YouTube videos and channels that were using Skibidi characters in a gross manner, and you know, as evident, YouTube report system just doesn't work. This all still remains unprosecuted, fully monetized, and available for all ages. Now, I have been taking a little bit of a look into the Skibidi Toilet verse, and I mean, there's like one channel here, and some of these videos like have hundreds of thousands of views, and it's just like, you know, Skibidi Toilet characters getting into, you know, sexual positions, like riding each other and stuff. It's nothing insanely terrible, you know, like full nudity, because YouTube would pull that in a heartbeat, but it's like those kind of compilations you see of like Fortnite characters, and it's just like a close-up of like their ass or something. Like, it's obvious that, you know, Defuck Boom has made this series, and then people are basically trying to horny post and make a bag off it. Now, I do want to point out as well, I know a lot of people are going to be saying, why does he have the right to, you know, shut this stuff down or say it's bad? I mean, you know, like, sure, he invented Skibidi, but like that's like from Gary's mod, Source Filmmaker, Half-Life, Valve. It's all like pre-existing assets that he's basically yoinked and then transformed into his own thing. I think it's because it's profit, right? Like, obviously you have like all these people doing like horny posting and stuff like that, these like kind of sexually charged videos, but then, you know, if you look at the screenshots that Boom actually posted, they're all 8-minute Andes. So it's not that they're trying to, you know, make these like funny sexual videos. They want money. They want to leech off Skibidi Toilet and make money. And because the videos are 8 minutes, if you didn't know how YouTube works, when a video is 8 minutes or longer, you can then put mid-roll ads in, which basically doubles or like triples your revenue. It used to be 10 minutes, then it got reduced to 8, and like every daily commentary channel basically celebrated because they get to yap for like 2 minutes less. But yeah, basically it's the same as TikTok. If you see a video that's exactly a minute, they're trying to like squeeze the ad rev out of it. And if you see a video that's exactly 8 minutes, it's an 8-minute Andy. I love my characters. They weren't created for purpose to be exploited this way, especially being deliberately targeted towards kids on YouTube. I feel it's my responsibility to ensure that all heinous stuff like this won't be associated with Skibidi Toilet and won't get recommended to children, period. I mean, to be fair, I do respect how honest he's being there, because, you know, it's like how you get people like Kai Cenat and stuff, and they say that their fan base are like older people. It's like, no, like anything in the world that is as famous as like, you know, the biggest streamer, iShowSpeed, or, you know, Skibidi Toilet, your average age group is going to be 10-year-olds. Like like undoubtedly. Like, this isn't even like a roast or anything, because when you reach that level of fame, the only way that you can sustain that amount of viewership is little kids, because they have the most amount of spare time. You know, someone that's like holding down a job, or they have their own family, or they're even just going to like college, or they're going to high school and stuff. They don't have the amount of free time that a little kid does, that is basically just on their iPad all day watching and consuming content. The letter that was posted by Gary is not from me or Invis. While we don't know exactly where it came from, it's possible it was sent after a member of the team reached out at the end of 2023 with concerns that Skibidi characters were being animated and monetized in hurtful ways. The goal was never to take down Gary's mod. We've been very excited and tirelessly working on expanding Skibidi Toilet and turning it into something even more amazing. I'm forever thankful to Valve and Gary's mod for the opportunities they created, and I wouldn't be where I am today without them. Boom. So he pretty much explains it there. He says like it could be one of his people, but more like kind of like a rogue element, because this was like a concern a while ago, and obviously he had no intention to take down Gary's mod. And like I can see some people, you know, hating on the popular thing, and they go, well, you're only saying that because you got caught out, bro. Like, you obviously wanted to take it down. You wanted to pull a Nintendo. I believe him. I genuinely believe him. Again, this guy gifted me 5 subs on one stream, which is about $25. So he might have bribed me a little bit, but I do personally think that he's being honest, because I think it's the thing where wires get crossed. Obviously, he's talking to Michael Bay's company. That's an American company. This guy is like ESL stage 5. I mean, you can see how broken his English is in this. It's still pretty readable, but he does make mistakes and stuff. So I can see wires being crossed in that sense. But yeah, obviously, there is a lot of sexual content around Skibidi Toilet on YouTube, and I unfortunately don't think that is going to go anywhere anytime soon. But that's always the problem you're going to have with one of these weird, bizarre viral trends. Everyone is going to want to leech off it to get their own piece of the pie. It's a normal thing. I mean, even me talking about it, I'm basically leeching off the topic. But yeah, what's the moral of today's story? You're so skibidi. Skibidi, skibidi. Skibidi, skibidi. You are so skibidi. My sweet little skibidi.